Hey everyone, it is Joshua. Um, I hate the glare that I get of my glasses. I posted a topic on Facebook on our fluid wall, maybe like 30 minutes ago, just asking what kind of topics you wanted to see us post videos about or talk about. What questions do you have? Um, whether it's in regards to coming out, to family, to religion, to hormones, and anything and everything in between. I'm just picking one randomly, the one that I could see, because my glasses are off. Um, looks like it's Mel Hamilton. Wants to know about websites for young people and for parents that have young gender variant children, as well as help with dealing with difficult parents, like strict or super religious, um, that kind of stuff. When it comes to the website, one of my favorite ones is Trans Youth Family Allies. I'll post a link when I edit the video up in one of these blank random spaces next to my face. Amazing resource for gender variant and transgender children, like children and teens under 18, and their parents and their caregivers and their doctors, etc. Amazing. Now, when it comes to dealing with difficult parents, um, my wife beater's on inside out. Just noticed that. ADD. One of the things that we have to realize, despite how hard it is that they're going through a transition too. Um, I'm not saying it's acceptable forever. I'm not saying that we have the right to be disrespected. Um, but I am saying that we need to give them a little bit of leeway when it comes to getting, because what you need to realize is that for my mother, you know, all these thousands of years ago when she had me, she gave birth to a little girl. And um, she raised a little girl. She put a little girl through ballet and tap and had a little girl. And now she has a son. Um, and she's super supportive and she's wonderful. But, not for nothing. In the beginning, it was really tough. And we really didn't talk a lot. We really had a hard time with making the transition over. Um, I'm still Jen sometimes. I'm still my sister's sister sometimes. I'm still her daughter sometimes. Um, one of the things that we've come to the compromise on personally, from Jennifer to Joshua, I know she doesn't feel comfortable saying Joshua just yet, and I understand that. But I do not feel comfortable hearing Jennifer. So we compromise on Jay. She calls me Jay, and I answer. She does make a conscious effort to do he or your brother to when she's talking with my sister or etc. But there are times when she does slip up. In the beginning, in the beginning of me being here in Florida recently, it was really tough. But I think the more time she spends with me, the more time she realizes I'm much more functional as a man than I ever was as my previous self. It's getting easier. Now, there will be a line, okay? There will be a point that I'll reach where I'm no longer going to answer to Jen or Jennifer or she or sister or daughter. Um, and that's my right as a human being. I paid a lot of money to have my gender changed, to have my name changed, and I'd like it to be honored. But it's different with every set of parents. I know I didn't transition here, as in I was out of state when I transitioned. My mom saw me one way, and then I came back years later, and that was another way. Um, I kept her up to date through pictures or little videos like this, documenting my transition, things like that. But it wasn't anything that was just like I didn't transition before her eyes. Like, it wasn't as gradual of a process for her as it was for me, nearly. If you have a parent that is being disrespectful, one of those, because I have not a parent, well, relatives that give you the whole, no matter what you do, no matter what you change or how you sound or how you look or what you have or do not have between your legs, you're always going to be Jennifer. And I beg to differ. And, you need to come to a point in your life when you decide what's worth it. Family is very important. Um, but on a human level, you do not deserve to be disrespected. Do I condone absolutely turning your back on your blood? Of course not. Or turning your back on your family and saying, you know what, forget you. I don't need you in my life. No. Never at any point. Because you never know when something's going to happen to that person and you're going to feel like a big piece of crap because you spent all these years fighting or not talking because of a pronoun or a name. I would always suggest trying the compromised names, even if it's a nickname or an initial. So it's not your female name, but it's not quite your male name yet, but it's showing some respect. It is showing respect to try. But like I said, when it comes to parents that are super against transition for whatever reason, some people's mind you're just never going to change. Now, when it comes to the religious, that is a whole nother sermon for a whole nother Sunday. Obviously, 98% of you know that I am a minister. I have very strong beliefs. I have a very strong faith. With that being said, I will say to you personally, there is nothing. Now, we're just talking about religious, so I'm assuming we're meaning Christianity. Most other faiths don't really go too much into it. Speaking of Christianity right now, there is nothing in the Bible, anywhere, in any of the original text, that discusses changing genders. There is nothing in regards to transgenderism. One of the questions that I was asked, and my mother was asked by another relative by marriage, was, when I die and I go home, what's God going to call me? His son or his daughter? How is he going to know who I am? The Bible does say in Galatians chapter 3, verse 28, I hate sounding all preachy, but I'm just letting you know real quick, that there is no slave or free or Jew or Greek or male or female in the kingdom of heaven. So for those parents that are of Christian faith, that wonder, in heaven, are you going to be my son or my daughter? We're neither. We don't have a gender, which is quite okay with me. I'll get into the religious stuff. If you guys want to know more about the religious stuff, I don't really want to just vomit it all over my page because I respect all faiths and all beliefs. But if there is someone in your family that is really battling with Christianity, the transgenderism versus Christianity, just shoot me an email. My email address is posted all over this page or whatever. Just shoot me an email or a message or a comment or even a post on the wall, and I will email you privately all the resources you would need to I don't want to say defend yourself in a debate, because you're not debating anything. You're right, they're wrong, simple and plain. But to educate yourself, so you know where they're coming from and you know how to hold your ground. So that is that's that. But when it comes to like self-centered or abusive parents or strict that aren't willing to transition, set in your mind an ultimatum of time to allow them to adjust. I'm not saying 2 months, like maybe 12, okay? We're talking like 12 to 18 months. And if in that time frame you're still your previous name, you're still your previous gender, I would either sit with them, talk with them if they're not open to that. They might not be open to group counseling or not, and then there might come a point where you need to distance yourself. But what you need to worry about is your own health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. All of those three impact your physical health. If you're stressed and you're worried and you're hurting about that, it's going to impact your body, and your body is your temple, and meant to be, treated as such and honored. And if they can't honor you, then maybe there's a time in your life when you do need to sever ties, but always as a last resort. That is my 2 cents. It's actually like 13 cents because it was almost a 10-minute video, but either way, I hope it helped. Mel, if you have any other questions, I am at your service, and I love being there. Namaste.